Thursday night, 8 p.m. hits like a hammer on steel. Rumble lights up, we're loading the wheel. Bible laid open, screens burning red. Me and my man cutting through the dread.
Head to truthmedia.com, grab that raw feed. No corporate chains,
just truth, plant the seed.
I'm the shadow hunter, she's a warrior flame. Tracing justice, live, torching the game. Shadow lights explode when the clock strikes 8, and arms riding hard, crashing through the gate. Drops turn to fire, darks tear the veil. Truth or media blood, we never will fail. Tracing justice, running hard and true. Thursday 8 on Rumble, me and you. Husband and wife forged in the fight, digging graves for lies under freedom's light. Great awakening roaring, feel that rebel fire. Truthmedia.com, taking it higher. Lock it in, brothers and sisters. Faith like iron, no surrender, no rust. Rumble's our highway, in truth we trust. From morning to cold to the midnight ride, tracing justice forever, no place to hide.
Dawn and justice mornings, Thursday night thunder. Rumble at 8, tear the veil asunder. 22 deceased burning, this love runs deep. Man and wife standing, no promises cheap. Tracing justice, running hard and true. Thursday 8 on Rumble, breaking through. Husband and wife side by side in the war, digging deep for truth forevermore. Great awakening blazing, set the night on fire. Truthmedia.com, lift it higher.
Welcome, everyone, to Tracing Justice. I am Josh the Justice Cometh, and this is my beautiful wife, Tracy Taylor.
Hey,
and I probably need to fix that little thing right there, so to put your name
it's okay.
on there.
I don't care.
But that's okay. So, guys, listen, we have got an incredible episode coming for you tonight. We've kind of put our cue back to the basics on the back burner for tonight because you see him right there. He's going to be delivering an earth-shattering speech tonight. I do not believe this is going to be a rug pull, guys, because Carolyn Levette just confirmed that He's going to be dropping some bombs tonight. This is going to be historic tonight. But before we get started and we start bringing on our guest tonight, this episode of Tracing Justice is brought to you by justiceshrooms.com and justicepetclub.com. So if you want to get you and your furry friends' bodies back in balance, make sure that you visit justiceshrooms.com and justicepetclub.com. So, guys, I'm ready. I am ready for this thing to get started. Yeah. We are broadcasting from Rumble tonight. So if you are in my Rumbling chat, rumbling along, make sure you give me that thumbs up, give me that repost. And our X, we're broadcasting everywhere on X. So wherever you're watching from on X, make sure you give us that repost, give us that heart. We are also broadcasting on Pilled.net from Joe's Pilled tonight. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for it and you're like, I want to watch this on Pilled, make sure you go to Average Joe Patriots Pilled.net tonight and make sure that you're tuning in over there. We are also live on YouTube. So we've already got some people over there checking in YouTube as well. Make sure you give me that thumbs up. And gosh, guys, I think we're even live on Facebook tonight. Let's check out Facebook and see what's going on. Well, I don't think my Facebook did it. Oh, well. So funny. But anyways, so guys, we are, if I went through the chats tonight, listen, I love my chat. We always go through the chats, but there are so many people and it's chatting away. I thank everybody for showing up tonight. And
being with us, being together for this. That's why. One of the main reasons we wanted to do it, so we could all be together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start bringing on our guest. So our first guest tonight is no stranger at all to Tracing Justice. He is part of our mainstay family with Truther Media, and that's going to be real AF Patriot Steve. How's it going, Steve?
It's going good. What's up, guys?
Man, I am ready for some fireworks tonight.
I posted a little while ago. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Yeah. I did what do you call them, GIFs or whatever? I put one underneath there. You know, the Shaquille O'Neal doing this or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am ready. I am so ready. So our next guest tonight, he is known as the Preacher, Seth Larrabee. How's it going, my friend?
Trying to keep up with this chat. It's like I can't keep up with this anymore, guys. Hi, everyone.
The chat is moving fast.
Yeah,
that's good.
We've got like 86 live on Rumble right now, but that Rumble chat, I can't. It's like I can't even. I feel like I'm on rapid fire news right now. Yeah. So with that chat.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So our next guest tonight is Freedom Fire 1776. How is it going? Signal over noise.
Awesome. How are you guys?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do
it, girl.
That's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's exciting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Chickaboom says, can't buy chatters, Josh. That is so very true.
That's exactly right.
All right, so our next guest is also the co-host of Signal Over Noise, The Receipt Room, and that is Yeet Force. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, thanks for having me on, and thanks, chat, for being here today.
Well, I tell you what, you and Freedom Fire have been absolutely busy with developing fire out there, and it is putting out absolute fire and straight signal. So thank you guys for developing that. And I know that you're going to be going over a lot of stuff tomorrow and Signal Over Noise tomorrow night. So thank you guys for that. I very much appreciate that.
Our investigation team.
Yeah, I've dubbed Ricky the Ricky and Yeet head over research, for Truther Media. So, yeah. So, all right. So the last person we're going to bring on is above average Joe Patriot. What's up, my friend?
What's up? So good to be here with you guys. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Thursday. Oh my, it's 7/16/2026. Welcome on in. What a time to be alive. Josh, Tracy, great to be here with you. Steve, my brother.
What is up,
well,
dude?
Man. Preacher Seth, my brother in Christ. God bless you, man. Hope all is well. Yeet and Freedom Fire. It's great to be here with y'all. Let's get ready to roll. This is going to be exciting.
Definitely a time to be live.
I do want to say thank you to the mods out there. I was whack-a-moling this morning on Dawning Justice. I mean, they were coming out of the woodwork. So we've got all of our mods on deck for tonight for Truth or Media. So thank you, mod team out there, for coming on board tonight and helping us out with that.
Yeah, and they have a very itchy trigger finger. So just be aware they're going to deliver hot pockets like you wouldn't believe, y'all. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Especially
Absolutely.
Chickaboom. She is fast.
She is fast. She don't play around. She does not play.
We were the show last night was just filled with bots.
Was it?
It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, Yeet had told me about a day ago. He's like, dude, I'm not surprised because we're like over the target with some stuff right now. We're going to see bots like coming out of the woodwork right now. So, but
Welcome to the fight, guys.
Yep. Welcome to the fight. That's right.
So, couple of updates before we get started. Gosh, guys, we've already got 500 watching on X combined. Oh my gosh, and it's like climbing and climbing and climbing.
Thank you.
Programming notes before we get started and get rolling and get into the speech tonight at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern. If we're still going on Tracing Justice, we're going to roll and get everybody rated over to Rapid Fire News with Average Joe Patriot tonight. We're going to kind of do a little transition over to there because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff after the speech.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you guys, like if things are going good in the speech and the discussion and all that stuff, like we might just keep rolling if you guys are okay with it. Like I don't want to interrupt and stop and all that. So worst case scenario, maybe we can roll a little bit longer tonight, or if things are winding down at 10 o'clock and we can do a smooth transition, but I don't want to make everybody move if we don't have to.
Okay.
So worst case scenario, we'll just roll as long as we can, and then we'll cut it when we have to. But we're starting early. I've already got people in the chat saying I'm so glad that AJP's on early. I know a lot of people don't get a chance, because I'm on so late, and unfortunately I've been streaming at that time for 5 years. So if I were to change at 10 o'clock, people were like, where the heck is AJP? So first off, thank you guys all out there for all the comments. The chats are on absolute fire, but worst case scenario, or best case scenario, honestly, we'll just stay here. We'll roll as long as we, don't get too tired. But, if things wind down at like 10 o'clock, then we'll move over. But I don't want to push anything, if we don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. And, while we're going through our little, before the speech, if we get any kind of donations over there on Pilled, just cut in and, acknowledge those, Joe. So, because we're rolling on Pilled.net under Joe's channel tonight. So we thank him for doing that for us. So before we go any further too, we're probably not going to get a chance to pray out like we usually do on Tracing Justice. So we're going to get prayed in tonight. We're going to get prayed in by Seth Larrabee tonight. So Seth, if you will take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. Just before we get started though, I want everyone to, don't be ready for the red pill tonight. Be ready for the giant freaking red suppository. That's where we're at. So, all right.
That's where we're at, right?
Just had to get that out. So, guys, get ready. All right. So, if everybody would please bow their heads and let's go ahead and pray us in. Dear most loving and holy and gracious Heavenly Father, we come to the foot of your throne this evening in anticipation of a fire speech from our President of our United States of America. And we pray that you would be with him and his support staff as he brings that talk, that speech, that news to us tonight. And we pray for all of those in support here, our mods. We pray for all of our family and friends that are following and watching and joining us live and in the chat. We pray for all of those here on air that are part of our Truth or Media family. We pray, Father, for all of our families and all of our family out there's families, our extended families. And we pray, Father, for that we would be keeping things at least to a fairly Christian tone on the show tonight, so that we're not bringing something to you that isn't pleasing in your sight and in your hearing. And Father, we pray, of course, as always, for all of those who are in the battle against the evil that has infiltrated not just the United States of America, but all of the countries of the world, that all of those who are in that battle, the leaders of the countries and all of the military and law enforcement at all different levels, that you would be with them and protect them from the evil one, and that you would protect all of us and keep us from temptation. We would like to thank you, Father, for all of the blessings that you provide to us every single day, waking us up this morning, giving us the breath of life again, and giving us the opportunity to be a voice of reason, a voice of truth, a voice of signal over noise for those out there, not just the ones who are regulars that know us well, but hopefully, Father, you would direct some of those who are confused, some of those who don't know, some of those who are just getting to the place where they're starting to see something's wrong and just not sure what it is. So hopefully we can get some of those folks. And we pray also, Father, that the trolls would be zapped as quick as possible. And I believe you have equipped our team with the armor of God so that they can quench those fiery darts as quick as possible. We thank you, Father, for this airtime, for your loving kindness, your long suffering, your grace, and your mercy. And we ask that you would just again be with us during the broadcast, so that things will go smooth, and that in between what we say before the speech and after the speech, that would be what people need to hear. And we love you, Father. We love your Son. We love your Holy Spirit. It is in your beautiful and magnificent Son, Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much for that, Seth.
That went so deep. I think he even prayed for my future grandchildren. I mean, that was amazing. I love that. I mean, he covered, like, he's like, and the future generations of our country.
Yep.
Great.
They're the ones that are going to benefit, man. That's
yes,
for sure.
sir.
Yeah, that's right.
You got that right. Thank you guys all for the amens out there as well. I love seeing the chat just lit up with all those prayers. That's how we raise the vibration, y'all.
Yes.
Man, guys,
absolutely.
We've got some celebrities in our chat over on X. John D. Parody's over in the chat tonight. And gosh, guys, we've got so many freaking people in our chat.
Welcome. Thank y'all for joining us. For real. Let me just say this. I think you'll remember where you were when this happened. You know what I mean? And I'm just thankful that it's going to be here with us.
So what I want to do real quick is I want to go around the horn. And what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be broadcasting, since ABC, NBC, and CBS are not airing it. Media blackout. We are going to be doing the official White House feed tonight. So if everybody in the chat can kind of help me keep an eye on Trump and when he's going to come out and when it's starting, I will try my best to get it up as quickly as possible tonight. So what I want to do is I want to go around the horn real quick, and I want to start with Tracy. She's like,
I hate it when he starts with me.
I want to ask you, what are you expecting tonight? What do you think this is going to be about, and where do you think this is going to lead? And scoot up just a little bit.
I just think that, I think we're going to get some disclosure, some things that, but with sauce, with receipts, with proof. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think your post talking about, the start and all that, that's quite interesting and very, very, very possible. But I am trying to temper my expectations, because I have been let down before. But like you said, with Caroline talking about it, as well as so many other,
And POTUS.
yeah, that it's not going to be a rug pull. We're going to get some things that we've been waiting for a long time.
So I will say this. I said this on Dawning Justice this morning. I said, okay, guys, let's talk about what could possibly happen tonight. Here's what I believe. This is just my opinion on what's going to happen. I believe this is the setup. This is showing the American people that our country came under attack, under a critical infrastructure. So once POTUS proves that a foreign entity interfered and changed the outcome of the 2020 election, that was an attack on a critical infrastructure. That, my friends, is an act of war. So, Steve, what do you think?
I mean, I posted the other day. I know you commented in it. I was like, something like, what happens if Trump drops D-class of the 2020 election, where it's like so obvious that, they need this. Well, I don't think they really need the Save America Act, but whatever, optics and they still won't do it. You know what I mean? Like that's a really bad look. As far as what we're going to find out, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel like we're going to get something really, really big regarding the 2020 election. We're not going to get all of it by any means, but we're going to get something really, really big. And I think it's going to lead very quickly to him calling a national security emergency. Yeah. That's, could be wrong. That's just, that's my thinking.
I think you're right. I definitely think you're right.
Absolutely. Seth, bring the biblical aspect around to us about what might occur and what this might bring to us.
I think that because the focus has been so far, just my take on what's potential, because I always say take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, how many times have POTUS is going to get up there and he's going to blow this thing wide open, and he gets up and we love his speeches regardless, but he talks about the successes he's had and how great the things that he's gotten done, which I love when he does that, because that just pisses the left off like no one's business, no matter what he does. So that's good. But I think this is going to be about the foreign interference. I don't know how much he's going to talk about the domestic players that were involved with those foreign, but I believe it is opening the door to the actual receipts for the fraud, because they're going to talk about the foreign side of it, which will naturally, of course, lead to the domestic collaboration with the foreign bad actors. So that said, I mean, as far as biblical goes, I mean, it's just, here's the thing I was saying before the show. Just like evil likes to do, think about when Rumsfeld talked about the trillions that went missing from the DOD. What happened the very next day? The worst terror attack in American history. I mean, false flag. So we have to, guys, be vigilant. So you have to put on your armor of God, and you have to keep it on, and you've got to have your head on a swivel. You got to warn your friends in bigger cities. Watch, keep your eyes out. If you see something, tell somebody, because the false flags, because we're now hitting that place where this stuff's about to take off, man. Just be aware. That's the biggest thing. And pray for your POTUS, for your friends, for yourself, for your family, for us. Just pray, because we've got that energy going. Let's just keep that energy going.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, Yeet, I'm going to come to you, and then Freedom Fire, and then Joe. So, Yeet, what do you see?
Hey, Josh, bring your mic down a little bit closer to you guys.
There we go.
Yeah, better.
All right. So, Yeet, what are you seeing, man? What have you been seeing this past, today and yesterday? What are you thinking, man?
Well, I think that we're seeing a lot of calming to this meeting tonight. Again, it is really important that everybody temper their expectation, but yeah, no, just about everybody that you would expect would want to calm a Trump
Yeah.
a Trump display like this is calming it hardcore, and that's definitely not the usual. Definitely not the usual.
Agreed.
Ricky, what do you think?
I think that D-class is coming. I think we're going to get more disclosure than D-class per se, and I think that I think people need to keep an open mind on what election interference actually means. I think about we have this perception that the election interference part of it has to do with the rigging of the actual machines, but I think that we also need to keep in mind that it's much grander than that, and that we need to think infrastructure on this, and that is a huge thing. And I think that those are the types of things that are going to be coming out. That's what we're going to be seeing. And I know I keep seeing a lot of people calming the 11.3. Everybody has a perception on that. For me, I'll tell you what I think it is. It's the 10CR 11.3. And it has to do with uranium one. It has to do with China. Joe's nodding. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think a lot of that stuff that's what we're going to find out. We're going to see all that. And it's tied to China. It's tied to Russia. It's tied to all of that infrastructure in which, fingers crossed. That's the big one to me that's coming. That's what we're going to see. And it's going to allow everything else to come out. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe?
Yeah, spot on with the 11.3. I've talked about that for a long time, and everybody has their own decodes and their own ideas and all that stuff, and that's fantastic. That's why we need all of that input for all of this. At least the people that are trying to stay in the signal and not tell you that everything's fake and gay. What's important,
Amen,
what's important, I think, is a lot. I mean, the comms have been off the hook. We talked about that last night, Steve, right? Like all of the comms from all of the administration, man. I mean, what was the one last night you talked about? Was it was it Patriots in Control or I can't remember now. You're muted, but there's so many comms that have.
Darn it!
I'm sure it was brilliant.
It was. I forget which one it was.
Well, there's been many of them, right? I mean, that's what we were trying to highlight and talk about last night too. Is just the amount of comms that are coming out from the administration on every single level is pointing to Patriots in control. And what does that really truly mean? That's what we are finding out with this administration. First and foremost, they are the most out there administration. I literally played an interview last night with Mike Rowe and Scotty B. I like to call him Scott Besant or Besant, which was absolute fire. And before that, Mike Rowe had on JD Vance. And what we're talking about as far as the these data centers have been brought up a lot, right? And I know there's a lot of people going back and forth about the AI, the data centers, and all this stuff, but all of the misconceptions about data centers is being put to rest because the administration and the signal is all together and all one, and they are the most transparent administration we have ever had in the history of our presidency, which is amazing. But on top of that, they're giving little hat tips to all the anons out there on every single level. Shoot, Monica Crawley, wasn't it? That's the one, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monica Crawley. What was it again?
She said, I'm pretty sure that image was from the drops, correct? And she said, have a great day. Right. I posted about it today or have a nice day. Yeah. And that was right in the drops.
And I'm just dying.
With
Monica,
that image, yeah.
Yeah. Monica Crawley, who is very, very close to the Trump administration. I followed her for a long time as well, is even putting little tidbits and hat tips for all the anons out there, and everybody in the administration. So what does that mean for tonight, right? I mean, all of this ramping up in the D class, which I believe has been happening, all year this year, since the beginning of the year, the first year of the administration. And I'm sorry, guys, it's like 100, and, I don't know, freaking 20 degrees. And I've got the air conditioning rolling, but it is still hot as heck here in the Midwest and humid. Anyways, so the entire administration, everything's going fantastic. What does that mean for tonight? All of these posts from Trump, recently he had brought up 3 or 4 posts or pictures of just him with President Xi. And I'm like, no context, no nothing, just posting pictures of him and Xi. And I'm like, okay, so there has to be something to do with China. Donald Trump, don't trust China, right? I mean, I think something is going to be brought up about China tonight. I think something is also going to be brought up as far as the Crossfire Hurricane, which thank you to LT and We Know for a little shout out on his show tonight and a little decode that I put out there in regards to Crossfire Hurricane, Crossfire Typhoon, Arctic frost, all of this stuff and things that happened back in 2020. In addition to our election, we got to remember that there was 2 coups against our president. So I believe that some truth and accountability and reconciliation, all of that has to happen with that whole situation. So, but listen, if it doesn't come out as much of a fire speech that we all think it's going to be, and I think it is going to be, because like you said, Josh, Caroline Levitt today was like, oh no, yeah, you're going to want to watch this. Pretty much is telling us that, and I'm seeing lots of reports from different people and all this stuff saying what it's going to be all about. If it isn't a fire speech, then I still think it's going to be good. But I think it's going to be fire. And I think we are in the storm at this particular time. And the storm and the D-class that's been happening. I mean, think about all the D-class that we've had about Epstein, about MLK, JFK, and the MK Ultra files getting ready to roll out. What else was recently? I mean, so much D-class has been
JD Vance last night. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, JD Vance on Joe Rogan as well. I mean, there's so much D-class happening on a grand scale, but it's all coordinated and they all have the same messaging across the entire administration. And we've been saying this forever. They're teeing it up. They're getting ready. There has to be a swing now, right? Yes. There has to be, we are in the top of the ninth, and there's one batter left. It's time to swing. And so I really think that he's going to swing tonight. And this is going to, what I keep thinking about is first and foremost 2 Q drops, 26, 28. This is not another 4-year election.
Yep.
Listen very carefully. Power return to the people. Long-term solutions. Panic. Why do you think the top 3 broadcast blackout is happening? Because they know what's freaking coming, and they were part of the problem. They were part of the problem.
They're complicit.
Absolutely, Tracy. And so that's why I think that is part of it. The other thing I keep thinking about is this, you guys, and I truly believe this is where we're heading. We are going to show you a new world. Those who are blind will soon see the light. A beautiful, brave new world lies ahead. We take this journey together. One step at a time. Where we go one, we go all worldwide. That's what I keep thinking about, y'all. Those 2 drops keep popping up, and there's a reason why. Because that's where we're heading. The golden age is coming. Everything is being set up on multiple levels, on multiple fronts, and what we are witnessing is history being made.
Absolutely.
And Kirill posting the storm cloud not once, but twice, and on one of our friends' comments. So that was pretty dasting too.
And somebody responded, "Nothing can stop what is coming" to Kirill, and he posted, "Where we go one, we go all."
Oh my gosh!
Boom.
Oh, I mean, huge comms, even coming from Russia, for God's sake.
Russia.
I mean, at what point do people realize that maybe there's something bigger going on here in the grand scheme of things?
Yep.
So I want to go through some 11.3 stuff, guys, with you real quick. So, this came out, today. It says that there's an 81% chance Trump will accuse China of election interference by July 16th. Okay, so that would be tonight. So let's read this. Q post 4524, and I can't remember if that's Kim Runner's old account from X or what, but this Twitter was in this post, okay? It says Q-proof, especially China. Are they going to print millions of ballots on the exact same paper using the exact same machines? And she quotes Q Post 4494. Are China and other foreign adversaries printing cloning paper ballots to cheat in the 2020 election? Is this about the virus or the election? Manipulated polls meant to legitimize rigged election results. The election was not rigged. All the polls demonstrated Biden's clear lead across the country. Example: what happens if China successfully duplicates clones, select ballots, battleground states? What happens if coordination exists with select states to deliver printing and paper ballot recipes, secret to select foreign adversaries? F. Nothing to lose. Logical thinking. Q. And then you come back to the post where that was quoted, 4524. It says, good catch. Coincidence. Important people understand for future events. Assumption or intel based. All assets, FD, foreign and domestic, deployed. D could be domestic, could be D class right here. Okay. D plus China equals 11.3. Q. And I got that from Jacob Creech, which is clandestine. So I want to give him credit where I saw that from.
Yeah, and that is just real quick. That is all assets, foreign and domestic, deployed. Democrats plus China. It has to be Democrats plus China, right?
I think you're right. I think you're right, Joe. I absolutely think you're right. And also, I wanted to point out one other thing too, guys. 2 days ago, there was a Delta, and it said, week to remember, Q. And then you come back to the post that says, boom, 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 boom. That looks like the gun. And it says, week to remember, blackout necessary. What are we seeing? A media blackout right now. Q. And then you've got this. Q Post 1082. And guys, I'm not saying JFK Jr. is coming back here. I don't believe that. just my opinion.
It'd be cool if
we
he
would
did.
all be dancing in the streets if JFK
Heck,
Jr.
yeah.
come back. Okay.
Heck, yeah.
I would love it. But this is what I think the calm is right here. It says POTUS and JFK Jr. relationship. Plane crash 1999. Hillary Rodham Clinton Senate 2000. The start. Enjoy the show. Q. And if you didn't know, in today's history, July 16th, JFK Jr.'s killed in the plane crash. So you go back, JFK Jr., plane crash 1999. The start. Enjoy the show. Q. And Joe, I think you were the first one to catch on to that on Rapid Fire News last night.
Yeah, we did talk about that last night. I mean, it's just no coincidences when you start to break this all down. What's interesting too, Josh, is in addition to that post, 1082 is 1083. And remember, at the end of 1083, it says old to new as the world turns. And again, what was I just talking about? A brave new world lies ahead for all of us. That is what this is all about. Not just us, right? We're talking about, as Seth was praying for my future generations in the opening, it's more than just us. It really doesn't have anything to do with us, to be honest with you. Yes, we are, a small clog in the giant wheel of information that's being put out there. And I believe our signal is better than most, just saying. But at the same time, what we're talking about is our future generations. And again, securing our elections has to be number one. I literally had this discussion with my wife and my daughter at dinner time, because they're like, well, why are you streaming early? I'm like, well, Trump's on it. My daughter's like, well, what's Trump going to talk about? I'm like, the stolen elections. I just told her, straight up, she's going to be 15 here and tomorrow. Unbelievable. I still can't believe that. But so when you start breaking this all down and you start thinking about it, the fact that JFK Jr. was really the start of well, it might have actually started before that, but I think that was like a trigger, right?
Right.
Because we know that Trump's messaging all the way back to the early 80s was on point politically. But I do believe that the plane crash in 1999 is what finally triggered, like, I'm sick of this shit. What do I got to do? Like, what do I got to do? You know, we know that Trump was close with JFK Jr. I also do not think he's alive, and I don't think he's coming back. And, you know, whatever, you guys can think whatever you want. That's just my opinion. However, if he did come back, I had to get a laugh out of Steve.
I love it.
If he did come back, I would be absolutely the first person out there saying I was wrong, right?
Yeah,
like,
same.
hey, I was wrong, and thank God he's here, because I did actually really appreciate, when I was growing up as a kid, JFK, and I wasn't a Democrat. I was a conservative back then, but I also understood what JFK stood for. And I also understood the importance of JFK Jr. in getting that Senate seat, because Hillary Clinton wouldn't have been in there if that was the case. Those are major factors in everything that has been going on for so many years. So the fact that it just happens to be on that same day, believe you me, Trump knows this. Trump knows for a fact what happened this day back in 1999 to his friend JFK Jr. And believe you me, my personal opinion is those letters that were received at the funeral, that everybody was in shock and awe, was a promise to counter.
Yep.
And this is what everything that's been building up for the last, 26, 27 years is a huge military operation. We know Trump was asked, right? We know Trump was asked. It recently came out, in fact, in one of his videos that he said, what did he say? He said something about, gosh dang it, now I can't remember off the top of my head, and because I had a direction I was heading. But he recently said in one of his videos that something about a plan, and he was part of that plan like a long time ago. So he's even been putting his own comms out there about really how long he's been involved. The military aspect of this is, in my opinion, like, it's blown out of control a little bit. The military aspect of this is important on a gigantic scale. We know that. But think about how many military members are in the House and Senate, and how many are continually putting their, country, I don't want to say first, because they put their country first the second they signed up for the military, but continuing their service in the House and Senate. But that also goes even further. That goes into some of our JAG officers. Yesterday, I talked about Washington State. The guy who Trump just fired, who was a U.S. district attorney up in Washington State in Seattle. Guess the guy that he wanted to implement in that area. I can't think of his name off the top of my head because I talked about this last night. The guy he wanted to implement in that seat to cover Washington State, Seattle mainly, was a JAG officer, because I looked it up last night. And so the guy that Trump fired, which that to me, when we start talking about the judicial coup, we've had impeachments. We've had coups. We have judicial coups. I mean, they're doing this on so many levels, but all of that is being destroyed. The international crime syndicate is being destroyed on every single level. And it's also going even further down as far as the school board and the teachers union and our schools and I can go on and on and on, right? We are literally taking it all back. Tonight is going to be epic on many levels. Tonight is going to be to show the change that we need coming for this next 2 years, and everything that's going to need to be implemented. I don't know if there's going to be a national emergency. Steve and I have gone back and forth on this many, many times.
We don't know.
Whether or not it needs to happen or it doesn't need to happen. Here's what I do know. The Save America Act, one of the things in there is what? Proof of ID. The paper ballots and the voter proof of ID, right?
Right.
Trump's already done an executive order that we have to provide proof of ID for elections. So why is he putting in that in the Save America Act? That's one of the things that, and then same with the trans, like he threw in like the trans thing, like, and I'm like, why did he throw this in? Well, he's already wrote an executive order for that. Guess what else he's wrote an executive order for? The mail-in ballots. So he's wrote executive orders already. But the reason why he's doing this, number one, in my opinion, is again, to show the people who are the true rhinos that need to get the F out of the way of what the Trump administration is trying to accomplish. The only way we can accomplish that is through the red wave that we expected back in 2020 that never happened. Well, it did happen, but it never showed that it happened because obviously Biden was in. And 2024, come on, we know he did way more than 76 or 78 million. It was probably like 100 million people that voted red. We know that there's stuff going on in California, right? Watch California. We've been watching California, everything that's going on there. Trump was in Pennsylvania this week, the Keystone State, explaining to us the importance of Pennsylvania as well. Michigan's getting highlighted. All of these places, Illinois maybe needs a little bit more highlighting, by the way, Trump. Hello, I'm still here. But all of this stuff and things, right, guys, is highlighted on every single level. And I want to explain all this because of the importance of what we're witnessing is literally history in the making. So I know I kind of went on a long tangent there, and I apologize for that, but
that's okay.
But I think it's just so important that what is happening, like, you know, I'm thinking about the other side of this, the people who think that everything is fake and everything is, you know, 100% control and military and all this stuff. Like that's not really the case. The fact of the matter is that we, the people, that's what the messaging from Q has always been. We, the people, are the ones who need to take this back. So it's great to sit here and armchair quarterback with you guys and all that. But what we're really doing is encouraging people, number one, to follow God. Number two, we're encouraging people to understand that Trump can't do it by himself, and either can his entire administration. This literally takes all of us. It takes we the people to get fully involved and understand that we were the problem in the first place. We are the ones who let this happen. We are the ones who were complacent, and we're not anymore. We are fully awake. We fully understand, and we fully see what was at risk is we were at risk of losing the United States. What's at risk now is global sovereignty on a scale like we've never seen before. The risk and the reward is there. So the question is, what are you doing in your life to make a difference?
Absolutely. AJP, you nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it. So one thing that I did want to mention too, to everybody on the panel is Q Post 2096. Q quotes itself. It says, a patriot, a person who loves, supports, and defends his or her country and its interest with devotion. Number two, a person who regards himself or herself as a defender, especially of individual rights against presumed interference by the federal government. This is important, by the federal government interference. Number two, or traitor, a person who betrays another, a cause, or any trust. A person who commits treason by betraying his or her country. And then Q follows up and says, fellow patriots, what you are about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control of freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt pure evil abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. D5. Stay the course. Trust the plan. That's been calmed a lot from this administration.
They said White House is live.
Okay, let's go.
I do have that pulled up, and we're good for now.
Yeah, it says we will begin shortly, so somebody keep an eye on it, okay?
Yep.
The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. D5, stay the course, trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. United we stand, WW worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. We fight conspiracy no more. And what has everybody said that this 2020 election interference was? Conspiracy. So conspiracy no more. Q. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sitting here looking through QAG at the moment, and there is a lot of comms along that lines that line up with today's Q clock, like 4880 and 4902. 4880 says, without you collectively, there would have been no way to bypass their control. They weren't about to repeat the mistakes of 2016. You are what matters most. United, not divided. You are awake, thinking for yourself is the greatest fear. Welcome to the digital battlefield where we go one, we go all, Q.
Wow.
The Q clock is hitting pretty hard right now.
Right.
Steve,
Yeah, I want to throw one
ahead.
quick thing out.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback on what Joe said, because to me, whether it's by design, I mean, obviously things happen the way they happen for a reason. But California is all the internal corruption, right? But
Yeah.
New York City is eyes on, because that is bringing the socialism, communism part of this whole thing into it. And you know, obviously POTUS has been hammering that more lately than he has ever. And so Mamdani, all of the New York Congress people, the other support people, other politicians there, just really hitting that whole, you know, communism thing, but also, you know, the Muslim issue in our country. You know, I mean, it's really starting to bring a light out of that darkness, because, I mean, that so many people don't even shed a light on that, and that's a mistake, because I think that's why New York is doing what New York is doing, so that we really can see it for ourselves. So anyway, that was what I was seeing from east to west coast in the biggest cities.
Yeah,
I think that JFK senior, I mean, when JFK was assassinated, kind of going back to that, I mean, you have to think about the fact that JFK was first president, not the first president assassinated, but in our lifetimes, people that are still alive, that was assassinated on national television, right? To me, that started the whole wave. So that rocked the timeline. When we talk about being on a different timeline, that changed the timeline forever.
Yeah.
When you think about it, right?
Yep.
And so you think about going back to what timeline are we on and all these different things. And you know, you think about the Elon, the video we keep seeing, right? With JFK and all these different people. To me, that speaks volumes. It's like everybody's life changed collectively, not just in the United States, around the world when that happened.
Yeah.
And after that,
true.
it progressed, right? Then, you know, I mean, then I can remember as a child watching the shuttle disaster on television. Then you started being able to watch war on television. So, I mean, it was just like this collective role of putting things into your head. So, I mean, you think about that whole timeline thing, and that definitely changed everything for everybody, you know? So I think it's time to get back to normalcy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I am sorry guys, I'm keeping an eye on the feed
you're
right
good.
here. I've got the official White House feed pulled up off of Rumble, so we'll go to that as soon as possible. I've had a lot of everybody's exes coming in saying, where can I see this on Rumble at? Just search Tracing Justice. I'll be right there in your search. You can go right to it if you don't want to watch it on X.
Right.
If you do want to watch it on X, you know, you can just kind of remain here. One other thing that I did want to mention too is John Solomon. You know, he's officially with the administration right now.
Isn't he a non-paid government?
Yeah, he's not non-paid. I forget the exact title, but yeah,
Right.
he's non-paid. He's basically doing what he's always been doing, but he's now doing it on behalf of the White House instead of just the news.
Yep.
He's actually part of the FO and the FAFO on Steve's hat.
Yes,
Seriously,
for sure.
he is.
So, and I will say this too, Sarah Carter is also with the administration now. And
They're both in the drops.
but they're all over them. So future is going to prove past, guys. And here's what's interesting is John Solomon went on and said yesterday, he said, everybody's going to love Friday. But Monday, everybody is going to be so glad that President Trump gave the speech Friday. And guys, Q post 527, Monday, next week, bigger, public. We listened, 2080 greater than 4060 Q. That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Go for it, Joe.
I started singing the song in my head. Come Monday, it'll be all right. Come Monday. Yeah, so I started singing. That's the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and Catherine Herridge as well, Akira. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Real quick, Josh, you got a couple of Rumble busy all the time. Gifted 5 subscriptions over there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To that. And real quick, Dixie, Foxy Lady, and Wonder World also. Thank you for the donations over there on Pilled.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, Steve and I talked about Solomon last night too. Like, you know, it's so very interesting. Number one, Solomon, Catherine Herridge, you know, Follow the Pen. You know, these are two people that have been in this movement for a long time and have been strictly amazing signal. And that's why I always go to them. The fact that Solomon decided, yeah, listen, I've got this great gig over here, but I'm going to go work for an unpaid.
Yeah.
And as they release the documents, the timing of this is no coincidence, fam.
Yeah.
I believe that what Trump is going to unleash tonight, Solomon will be dropping it like it's hot, coming in very, very soon. Sarah Carter, in my opinion, has been another one who's been absolutely amazing. In fact, I forgot what she does specifically for the administration, but I know that she's part of it as well, and for a good reason. Both of them have done amazing work. So yeah, I mean, the whole Solomon thing is absolutely epic. There are no coincidences. And again, mainstream media, who cares?
Right.
Don't stream it. We don't need you. We don't want you. You're part of the problem. You're the ones that have been complicit anyways.
We're the news now anyways.
That's right, Yeet. That's an absolute fact. We are the news now, and no matter what scale that is consisted of 100 people or 5 million, it doesn't matter. We're all part of that signal. Go ahead, Tracy.
John Denver had said in there, suicide weekend incoming. That's interesting.
Who knows?
I mean, the panic is real right now on many levels, for real.
Sure. Yeah.
So, guys, I am still watching the feed. I know everybody's like, is it started yet? Is it started yet? I am literally watching the screen.
Show them so they can see that it's
He's going to walk out at 8:17.
You think so?
Fashionably late.
Yeah, exactly. GS Peer Girl says, thank you for the can. I'm anticipated a few. Oh, my God. He went there moments. Can't wait. I'm right there with you, girl.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and just, before we get started, because I've got a lot of new viewers in Tracing Justice tonight. So, guys, if you're watching us, please, please, please like and subscribe to our channel over wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Rumble, you know, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. And if you're on YouTube or wherever, and guys, I am on Pilled. So under Tracing Justice. So make sure that you subscribe to us over there, because I'm one of the very few shows that actually go live in the morning, first thing in the morning on Pilled. So I didn't know if everybody knew that or not. I always say, you know, my Pilled chat's always a little weak. And I say, well, everybody's always over there sleeping because they've all watched AJP from the night before.
Into the wee hours of the morning.
that is partly my fault. So all you guys over there on pill.net, make sure you give a follow to Tracing Justice. He was in the chat. He'll drop another comment out there as well on Pilled. Make sure you guys are following him, because he is.
Here we go.
Here he is.
Good
Here he is.
evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nations policy, because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of health care is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes and really exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country, a standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his reelection. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judged that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election, for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody, and it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together, we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Everybody unmute if you can.
Dang.
Holy crap.
Oh,
AJP, where you at,
my.
bro?
That was huge.
That was big. That was big. That was big booms.
I sent you something in Discord, Josh.
Okay, I don't have Discord on my computer, man. You have to send it in the private chat if you can.
The one on
Guys,
here.
On here,
I
on
like
here.
big booms, and I cannot
Yeah.
lie.
I cannot lie. I like big booms and I cannot lie.
Guys, I'm telling you what, we just got 11.3 verified right here on Tracing Justice tonight.
Yeah, God bless the USA. That's right. Absolutely.
It's 422 pages.
Well, we'll that's the documents that Trump spoke of, correct?
Yeah, it's on whitehouse.gov, correct?
Yeah, it's justice. It goes to justice.gov.
Well, I just tried to send it to you. It won't paste in there into the
Okay.
chat.
Okay, hold on just one second.
It's too big.
He'll pull it up. He'll pull it up.
Okay.
So what do y'all
Yo,
think?
I'm crying.
Yeah, I know, right? What do y'all think? It's more than what you expected? I mean, for me it was.
Me and Ricky are actually reviewing this right now, and we have a lot of this already documented and in receipts. We were waiting for whether or not this was going to actually happen and play out the way it is, but I guess, Ricky, we have our show tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been waiting to see if we were right or not for sure. So we have everything already lined out with the timeline. So we just wanted to confirm. We didn't want to come out with something and then be like, oh, we're wrong.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we're excited.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
what page is it on the whitehouse.gov?
It's not on whitehouse.gov.
Oh, I thought he said
It's
it
a
was.
file.
He did say that.
Oh, I don't know. We had the file.
Let me see.
So we sent it to you.
You sent it to me from justice.gov.
Somebody send it to me in the
Justice.gov.
Telegram chat. I don't have Discord on here. Get in Telegram,
Okay.
whatever you got to do, and send it in Telegram.
Okay.
So
Y'all talk
Joe,
while I try to dig.
what do you think? What do you think, Joe? Oh, you're muted.
I got a shit ton to talk about. I mean, I don't want to take the whole thing here, but I've been looking through Q drops as he was speaking and
Josh was too.
posting. So I'm gonna share screen if that's okay, because
Yes.
this
Yep.
is probably the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
After you get done, Joe, we're going to go to Seth to see if he's got anything. Then we'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, so I'll try to hurry through this.
I'm looking
For
for
you,
your share
for
screen.
you guys. There we go.
All right. Do.
He's got his share.
There we go.
So first and foremost, why did it take a political outsider to finally confront China? That's
Oh,
the
wow.
very first thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to me because we all know why, right? Because he couldn't be bought off. That's why it took a political outsider to confront China. So right off the bat, I was like, oh, boom, there's a boom. Now, the next one I thought about was this. China hacked. Now, it says HRC server, but we know that was part of this whole situation as well. And it says false. Access was granted. So they allowed China to hack HRC server, which again goes with CrowdStrike. This is granted access, betrayed only the tip. This will be made public soon, and you have more than you know, which was interesting. Clowns revealed in China. Remember, our intel agencies were in with China. Donald Trump don't trust China. China's asshole. We tried telling people forever and a day. Now it's coming to fruition. This goes back even further. 2010, 187 sold Intel. And again, about the HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton's open source server betrayed only the tip. This will be made public soon. That drop was actually 2/22 of 2018. And yeah, here we are now, 8 years later. Why do some elections take more than a day to count? Trump addressed this directly, talking about California. Can cheating be done after the polls are closed? Who controls the poll books? Who controls the databases? Who controls the elections? Why are extra ballots printed? If someone doesn't vote, can bad actors hijack their vote? This is exactly why I've said you must vote. You have to vote. If you're not voting, you are part of the problem, not the solution. Why did the National Guard activate cybersecurity teams? We know that was a fact in 2024. We know that was a fact that the National Guard was activated. Who gave the orders to activate the cybersecurity team and why? To protect the elections. The claim the midterms are safe. Safe from what? Setting the stage. Watch carefully. White hats have secured many systems, but problems still remain. You have all the tools you need. Vote. It's that simple. Yep. And then, shall we play a game? Nothing can stop what is coming. How do you show the public the truth? How do you safeguard U.S. elections post POTUS? How do you remove foreign interference and corruption and install U.S.-owned voter ID laws and other safeguards? It had to be this way. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. We are here, folks. We are here. Tomorrow's Delta, no coincidence. It talks about what would be the primary purpose of inflating COVID-19 numbers? Who benefits the most? Pro-America versus anti-America. The infiltration, all assets deployed. Election, not a virus. That is exactly what happened in 2020. Yep. It was all about the election. It was never about the virus, and it was all about the ballots as well. Pro-America versus anti-America. Communism. Any more questions? Difficult truths. This is not another 4-year election. So that's, I mean, it's absolutely spot on. Only when evil is forced into light can we defeat it. Only when they can no longer operate in the shadows can people see the truth for themselves. Only when people see the truth for themselves will people understand the true nature of their deception. Seeing is believing. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. Only then will people find the will to change. It had to be this way. This is not another 4-year election. God wins. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I'll tell you what, man. Conspiracy, no more.
Hey, but still, let me say something. I saw someone in the chat say I wanted him to declare 2020 invalid. This had to come first. You got to show that there was a vulnerability before you, the next part. That's the next step.
Sometimes you must show them.
But you got to, they have to see this first before you just drop them on that, right? You can't just drop that in the lap. You have to show that there was a possibility of this first, and that this did happen, in fact. And here's the result.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm telling you, this is the snowball. This is what we've been waiting on.
For how many freaking years, man?
And
I swear.
So I just posted the link to all of the documents, and I'll do it. Let's see if I can do it one more time. Yep, there we go. I'm going to post it one more time in case you guys missed it, to all of the downloads that you can download all the documents.
For yourself.
Right here. It is on whitehouse.gov. It's under election integrity.
Right. That's right.
All right, Seth. What you got?
You should look through these things yourself. Absolutely.
We all are.
I know. I know everybody in this chat, these okay. People will.
Yeah. Go ahead, Seth.
Josh, it should be in your Telegram now.
Okay.
Yeah. Casey sent it to you.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
They got it, yeah.
Yeah, so Seth, go ahead. You're muted. mute. Oh, hold on. There we go.
It was us, dude. It wasn't you.
It was me.
AJP, where's your button? I need you to push it on Josh and Tracy over there.
It was my fault.
There
Not
you
Tracy,
go.
because I don't got the controls.
Yeah,
That's
not
him.
Tracy. Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, since I was muted, now I know why you couldn't hear me. I was just saying Casey had dropped the link
Yeah.
a couple times in
Yep.
Rumble way back
She
when
did.
she found it. So you guys got that sorted. But
Yep.
something that, again, it's not really biblical, but I mean, it's more human nature. It's like there are still, several people have posted certain things. Somebody, Charlotte said, people aren't paying attention. That's the problem. We are, but we've been paying attention. We knew all of this pretty much. It just, we hadn't seen POTUS just lay it out as blatantly as he did. So that for us was the beauty of tonight's speech. But she all said, those who believe are already there. Bingo. That's exactly what I just said. So do you honestly think liberals were watching this? Well, here's the thing. There was a couple people, they weren't rude and they weren't being, like those trolls were this morning, Josh, but that said, it's like, there you go again. Absolutely nothing. And it's like, this wasn't for us.
Some people
Yes,
you
it
just
was,
can't
and
please.
it was a confirmation for us, but the information itself was not for us. So
That's right.
what we have to understand is that this is where we now come in again. We need to start, like you guys said, we all need to read up on this or, do our research or, all of that, all the above. But once we know that we have the receipts ready to back it up, we need to be just blanketing this out everywhere, because obviously CBS, ABC, and NBC didn't cover it. So this is where we come in again. We really
That's right.
need to push this and get it out once we have the receipts to back, to show. And I mean, it's here. I mean, there's no denying that was it. That's
right.
what we've been waiting for.
That's
And like
exactly
Tracy
right.
said, everything else comes out of this. The
right.
2020 denial,
This had to happen first.
Yep. Exactly.
And then you get the fraud vitiates everything.
And
the auto
that's
pen.
what comes from this.
The whole 9 yards.
And guys, this is what Truther Media has been preaching all along here, guys. This is the time for the anons that are rooted in facts and concrete information. That's who you need to be following right now. All this stuff about who's wearing a mask and stuff, it don't matter now. That stuff does not matter
At this point.
right now. Q post 4509, the mission. The mission starts now.
Amen.
Candace
mission-
doesn't matter right now.
No.
Turning Point USA doesn't matter right now. None of that crap matters at all.
The drama part of it,
Right.
right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The drama part.
I will read you, since we've got a ton of viewers right now. We've almost got 10,000 viewers on this live stream. I'm going to read you Q post 4509. You have been selected to help serve your country. Never retreat from the battlefield. Use other platforms as a form of centralized communication and control. Organize and connect. Bridge, there's that word again. Bridge through linking. Source meme material from battlefield and or garage. Highlight, share, take and drop. Mission number 1. Dispute, reject propaganda push through the posting of research and facts. Number 2, support role of other digital soldiers. One fall, another stands rises. Mission 3, guide, awaken. This is where we're at right now, guys. You heard POTUS D-Class. Guide, awaken others through the use of facts, D-Class 1 through 99 material, and other relevant facts and memes. Decouple MSDNC control of info stream. Ask counter questions to initiate thought versus repeat echo of MSDNC propaganda. Mission 4, learn to use camouflage digitally. Primary account suspended, terminated. Use of secondary. Mission 5, identify strengths, weaknesses, personal and designated targets, re Twitter and Facebook. Memes failure to read through the use of algo. Think Tron master control program. Dependence on person-to-person capture. Slow response times, unidentified users. Game theory. Information warfare. Welcome to the digital battlefield. Together we win. Q. you are entering the battlefield. The conspiracy label is going to be pushed on all of us. President Trump is going to be called a conspiracy theorist right now, that there is no proof of this. He just gave us the proof. This is what we need to be pushing right now. We need to go to these links. We need to all be researching through all these documents. Steve, what you got?
Well, one more thing. One thing. And we need to do what President Trump asked us to do, which was, what did he say? Call your representatives tomorrow and demand they pass the Save America Act. So, when the commander-in-chief gives you a marching order, you do it. Don't just say, other people will do it. You do it. I've got my numbers. I'm going to be calling. You call too.
We need to flood the switchboard, guys. This is not. It's not a fluffy. It's Tracy's spot on. This is not a joke. This is not a maybe. That was a direct order, and if you take your orders seriously, you need to do it in the next tomorrow. And then if there's a message, going to call the next day. I mean, Marsha Blackburn's my senator, and Tim Burchett. I mean, I live in Tennessee. We got a bunch of good representatives, and senators in the seats. So I'm fortunate in that respect. I know dang well that Marsha Blackburn, because she posts all the time that the rest of the idiots in the Senate won't, and she's on fire for the SAVE Act, obviously. So
that's right, Carla.
You guys
it takes
need to
less
hit
than 2
them
minutes.
hard.
That's right. That's right. It takes less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes, dude.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Steve, what you got?
I, don't be surprised or anything, but I went on Google and I just put in like Trump speech tonight, and I'm just looking at all these headlines. I mean, like, Trump cites inflated data to claim 278,000 non-citizens are registered to vote. Everything is Trump claims, Trump alleges, blah 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 blah.
That is infuriating.
They're not going to. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to be able to do that for too many more days.
No.
So, guys, we've got another special guest joining us right now, Digital Swolger. How is it going, my friend? Did you get to watch the speech? Digi?
Sorry. Go ahead and hit that mute button for me, AJP.
Gotcha, brother.
So good at it. I am the world's greatest at the mute button.
Yep, you are.
I really am. Guys, I'm really coming into this late. I'm real covered up with work today. I apologize. I know I was supposed to be here today, but I tuned in right in the last 5 minutes of his speech, so I think I missed the punchline, because as soon as it was over, I heard Tracy talking about it was better than what she hoped for.
Yep.
So I was really just kind of jumping in real quick to say hello, and also if you could give me the rundown cliff notes, because I might not be the only one in the audience that might have missed the punchline. So lay it on me about 11.3.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China's asshole. That's all you need to know. There's the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard you say that a few minutes ago already, AJP.
That's the cliff notes, brother.
But yeah, he exposed China and other adversaries.
It's fully confirmed.
Yes.
It's out there.
Yes.
D5, brother, the snowball has begun to roll.
Yeah.
It is all. Yeah, battle stations,
yo.
yo.
What did you say earlier, AJP? Shall we play a game?
Uh-huh.
That's right. Nothing can stop what is coming.
Yeah. Well, game on. Let's go.
Yep.
So
he mentioned Obama in there.
Oh.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. China, Obama, other false to back it up.
Nice.
There you go.
That was my biggest reveal from the speech, really, was the fact that he actually, and he spelled his name out. He didn't just say Obama. He said Barack Hussein Obama.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my gosh, guys.
And Biden. He mentioned Biden, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful. It's a good day in the neighborhood.
Yes, it is.
So, Yeet, I got something for you, because did you hear him mention the journalist and how they didn't cover it, and they covered a lot of stuff up? Q post 32. Maybe one day, but it cannot go slow. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. It will send a signal to others immediately, and you'll see the tide turn. Not even the MSM can hide, and rest assured, some will be jailed as deep cover agents.
Because he was talking about that when he was talking about China paying people, journalists. That's what he said, didn't he?
Yeah, I was
he did.
Oh yeah.
shouting it in the chats Monday, because now that this is official, it's going to happen at breakneck speeds.
Yep. Hold on.
It has to.
It's reached 88 miles per hour, guys.
and Steve, that's why you see the White House calming speed over and over. I'm telling you,
Watch.
the documents are going to keep coming. The sauce is going to keep coming from the administration now.
Yep.
And what's your take on why what they say the most is locked in? I see so many posts that says locked in.
I honestly think that it's the mission. I'm telling you.
Well, I thought about like,
go ahead.
I'm just saying locked in. Isn't that usually what, like when a fighter pilot gets in, they're locked in, they're ready to go. It's time. I don't know. That's just what I figured. I could be so off with that.
So I want to address something that one of my YouTubers said. It says, I'm basically new to all this. What has gotten you all so excited? I'm trying to follow. What is the biblical part? Sorry, I have to ask. Okay, so here's the rundown of everything. Everything that Donald Trump has been saying, and we have been saying as Anons over the past 10 years, is finally starting to come out. And President Trump has finally got the receipts that he's bringing out. It has been calmed over. We have been told over and over, D-class is coming, D-class is coming, D-class is coming. Okay? So now you heard President Trump tonight, for those that are just joining the movement, he said, D-class, I'm declassifying, I'm declassifying.
Which means it was classified. Understand that. These were classified documents. Some were found in burn bags. He went over that in his speech. So he declassified them. This isn't made up information. This isn't, this is declassified now. This is awesome.
Can I comment on the locked in part, Steve?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, it's huge first and foremost and we've talked about this so many times, which is why I'm so glad that the locked in has been brought up. There isn't exactly a locked in quote unquote, Q drop, but 3725. What have we been talking about this whole time, y'all? It must be done right. It must be done according to the rule of law. It must carry weight. It must be proven in the court of law. There can be no mistakes. Good things sometimes take time.
Yeah.
Attempts to slow block the inevitable justice will fail. Democrats, election interference in 2016. Clinton, Hussein, illegal FISA. Democrats, election interference 2018, Mueller. Democrats, election interference 2020, impeachment, projection. These people are sick. We, the people, are the cure. And then it goes into fired, forced. FBI, DOJ, state, Senate, Congress, CIA, DOD, Supreme Court, federal judiciary, DOJ, CIA, locked and loaded. That's what that's all about, in my opinion, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
One word. Rico.
Well, it might be Rico, but I don't even know if they necessarily even have to go that route at this point,
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
This is foreign interference.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I got a quick question. So that's a pretty interesting drop there, AJP, that you brought up. All of those different departments. How many departments are listed there in that drop?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ish.
Okay.
Quick count.
So Tracy, any idea how many times that post locked in has been made?
No. 12?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, I don't.
It would be worth looking into, because if that number matches, then that could just basically correlate to each time they got each department locked in.
Yeah, good point.
did actually look up on QAG, and Locked In shows up in one post 4003.
While you're looking for that, think about it. I wrote an article though about I wrote an article about how we had to have stabilization in our hemisphere and how Venezuela was key because what did he talk about? He talked about Maduro, right? Maduro saying, which I still think we had all the information beforehand, but he, Maduro validated it or whatever. What do you think? Or gave up some that we did? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Somebody.
Who?
Whoever.
When does the cage bird sing? I mean, the guy got picked up, right at the beginning of the year. I mean, 2026 kicked off with a bang with that little New Year's Eve package. So, we got Maduro, and he's been singing like a canary ever since.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
AJP, do you think the Maduro was a rescue op?
It's possible, and what's interesting is they're still looking for, I believe, two of his sons, if I'm not mistaken. So two and some. Oh no, that's El Chapo's sons. Never mind.
Yeah.
But still part of that big picture, regardless. There's there's definitely some interesting things there. Number one, who was guarding Maduro? Do you guys know?
Cuban.
Exactly.
Cuban military.
It wasn't even Venezuela.
Correct.
So were they really guarding him, or were they holding him hostage? Yeah, exactly. And those were the only assets that were killed on top of it. Right? None of our assets, none of the U.S. military assets. Those were the only assets. I believe there's 14 or something like that were killed during that excursion. It wasn't even, a war per se. But yeah, I mean, we all know when you start thinking about Venezuela, and we've talked about this for a long time, we know that about the servers there. And I truly feel that, Maduro had an option, and the option was A, truth and reconciliation, or B, we take you and your entire family. Well, they were probably going to take the entire family anyways, but we just take you down completely. And so, when does a bird sing, like Digi said? And that's exactly where we're at. And that's exactly what I said when Maduro got arrested in the first place. Is there is some type of operation going on there one way or another. Yes, the discombobulator, Tara, that was part of that situation as well. So this whole situation and the servers and who owned the servers, yeah, they supposedly lived in Florida, but they were Venezuelan. Look here, don't look there. That whole situation that happened in Venezuela is definitely a big piece of this. I truly believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Seth, did you hear when he said shadow presidency? He actually said that, shadow presidency.
Did he say shadow presidency or shadow government?
Shadow government.
I can't remember.
So
yeah, it was shadow government.
Okay. So Q post 4158. Shadow presidency, shadow government, insurgency, irregular warfare, Q. And then you also go to Q post 4196. The shadow presidency, the shadow government. Why did Hussein shadow POTUS RE foreign trips? Why did Kerry shadow POTUS RE Iran? Why did Kerry shadow POTUS RE classification 1 through 99? Why did McMaster target and remove loyal intel operatives inside the White House? Why did McMaster prevent D-Class disclosed to Congress? Why did Coates prevent D-Class disclosed to Congress? Why did Bolton prevent D-Class disclosed to Congress? Why did Ryan prevent subpoena power to Republican Congress? Why did Rosenstein work to entrap and install a blockade? Why did Rosenstein install Mueller knowing zero evidence of Russia collusion? Why did Mueller attempt to retake FBI director position? Why did Mueller Rosenstein drag out SC investigations if No known Russia collusion pre-start. Why did select members of the NSC Vindman, remember Vindman, he was the leaker, orchestrate fake whistleblower reports with Adam Schiff, Atkinson, classification 1 through 9, to sabotage and initiate impeachment? Why did Pelosi rush impeachment investigations? Why did Pelosi then hold impeachment articles until January 15th? Remember that? Why did Schiff push false Russia evidence narrative post closed door interviews? No evidence of collusion. Why did Schiff coordinate with the White House NSC through proxy to arrange for Ukraine whistleblower? Why did Schiff actively leak knowingly false statements during post-classified session to MSM? Why did Schiff illegally surveil phone members of White House legal team Media Congress? Why did Pentagon officials classification 1 through 99 subject tendered resignation within a 2-week period? Why did Omarosa attempt to entrap POTUS through secret and illegal recordings? Why did Soros finance anti-POTUS events and organizations across the U.S.? Why did classification 1 through 99 organize and push propaganda smear campaign through the use of MSM Hollywood? And there's classification 1 through 99 FFFF. Insurgency, irregular warfare, the greatest political scandal in history. What are they trying to prevent? Who are they trying to protect? Q.
I want to watch the speech again, honestly, but and really listen again. You know how you can pick up things the second time you didn't the first time, because I want to know exactly what he said about journalists in China and being paid. I want to.
He did say that
I
they
know,
were being
but
paid.
I want to know exactly how he said it.
So I kind of have something on the locked in, if I may.
Yeah.
Go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so I kind of ran the term locked in a couple of the Q posts revolving around locked and loaded and locked in into fire, right? So fire is actually saying locked in is not just a state of being locked into something. Fire is actually saying that this is much bigger. Trump used finality language during an address announcing documents, investigations, and proposed government action. The syntax behind this locked in is a state of declaration. In a systematic language, it is proposed, moves on to committed, and then moves on to execution state. It means that the parameters are fixed and the decision is made. So the next stage is no longer optional.
Gotcha.
The semantic Q parallel is that the closest Q wording, locked on target, planned and immediate, and locked and loaded, also communicates movement through preparation into execution, which means the flow path would be target identified, moves into plan fixed, then moves into action ready. So the Occam's razor approach to this is Trump was indicating that something was settled, secured, and committed. The Murphy's Law language behind this is that a screenshot can visibly combine Q's text with an anonymous reply, link, post, or whatever. But the Mary test, which is what's really interesting, is would a natural observer shown only the words locked in independently identify the same historical Q posts or event? No, it would not. What's also very interesting is our system is a system that is meant to preserve data, and Trump saying locked in actually collapsed the entire data point into a finality. So when you're doing investigative research, what you want to do is you want to hold on to your information. You don't want to come to any conclusions at all. If you do come to a conclusion, it's considered collapsing the data point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which means this is like certainty. This isn't just I'm locked in, we're going to do this. This is the plan is moving forward and the prep is already done.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Now, to add to that real quick, you check out Q Drop 157. What is a key? What is it used for? What is a guard What is a guard used for? Who unlocked the doors of all doors? Was it pre-planned? Do you believe in coincidences? What is information? Who controls the release of information? Who has all of the information? We've got them by the balls. We have all of the information. This goes on quite a bit more, obviously, but define corruption, define censorship, define controlled censorship. What action is Twitter taking? Effective mid-December, which was huge, to unlock the availability of people to actually be able to get that public awareness. And I think Craig is kind of alluding to that as well in chat. A lot of us are chat with Craig. Craig's a good dude, by the way.
Yeah.
And I love his input, and he's right. Like, most people aren't going to go directly to the Q drops to explain this all. However,
Right.
we aren't here for the sheep. We are here for the lions. We are here to wake the lions up who have been aware of this for years and years and years. So why is this being presented right now? Because the public has to be aware of everything that is going on. The public perception has to be all on board as well. This is why this has been a drip, drip, drip flood. Is because the public and the declassification that's going on as well. It all has to be this way for the public to be aware of what's happening. There is many people out there right now who don't even think our elections are rigged. Right. And so we're not here for the 4 to 6 or probably 10% of the population that's probably lost forever. We're here for the people that have stayed in the signal, who are the lions. For people like us here in the chats that have been talking about, or in the stream, we're talking about this, all the people out there as well in the chat and Rumble and everything else. That's right. You have to show the public. It's the only way, Irish Patriot. You know that. Out of all people up there in Ireland, they're going through a ton of stuff and things of their own right now. But the change is happening. I know my brothers and sisters in Canada can feel it. I know my brothers and sisters across the pond in the UK, Ren, feel it. I know people in Australia that feel it. My brother Ozru, Mac 5x5, and many others. This change that's happening is bigger than anybody can even realize. And those normies who have no idea what's going on, we're not talking to them. We're talking to the people who have been in this movement for a long time. But I hear you. That's not the direction that, any mainstream media or anybody else is going to take. And that's fine. Let them do what they want to do. We're going to do what we want to do here. And that's bring people along. And even some people who may not have ever followed Q. It doesn't matter whether or not you follow Q. But let me tell you something. We all knew what was going on. We all knew about this because all of the stuff in the drops and all the stuff that I talked about here previously is setting it all up to this point. So it is important, and it is part of history, and it will go down in history as one of the greatest information movements to ever be created in the history of the world.
That's right. And it's gonna, he made the declaration, or, he made the speech, he declared everything, he declassified. The actions are going to happen whether the normies get it or not. These things are going to be implemented at this. I mean, I'm just telling you, the actions that's coming from this, nothing can stop that. Things are going to change for the better because of this. So whether grandma or grandpa that watches CNN religiously ever comes on board, the change is going to take place.
Go ahead, Steve.
I was going to say you're exactly right. I've been thinking that, like, in my own head. It doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah.
What he just did is going to set everything in motion. I think things are going to really it's going to be lightning speed now.
Yep, it is.
And tomorrow's press conference, that's going to be with Ratcliffe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some
or
others.
Homeland Security. I thought he said Homeland Security.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. But that's probably going to be really big too.
Oh yeah.
I think everything from this point out. Go ahead.
There was one thing, I just, like I always do, just noticing everything is there were some people in the chat when he was talking about oh, well, there's documents that we're going to release and da 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 da. And before he'd even gotten to the parts where he was actually talking about what's in the documents, there were a couple of people who were like, oh, there we go again. Going to release. And I'm like, dude, let the man talk. This is, what was it? Let the POTUS cook, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone has their own expectations. So for us to assume this person, it's like me. I was in recovery for 9 years before I realized the God of my understanding in AA was the God in the Bible, and started reading the Bible, and finally actually realized I need to be a Christian because I believe.
Right.
But if someone had tried to force it on me in year 7, I would have probably, as a good recovering or even active alcoholic does, be like, nope, ain't happening. Not doing it, because I wasn't evangelized too. I had to come to it and see it for myself.
Right.
That relates exactly to what's going on with the release of everything and all the drip, 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 drip. And, I really think that the drip just ended tonight. I don't think we've been in flood. I think it sped up. So it went from a drip to a trickle to a little more of, a faucet pour. But I think that's where the speed thing comes in now. But everyone's going to get this when they're supposed to get it. Period. That's just the way human nature is. At least that's the way I look at it.
So, AJP, I just wanted to let you know before I ask Digi something here real quick. You are not the only one with dog problems. And let me tell you why. Is because the reason that Freedom Fire is not here right now is because her dog pulled out her internet cord.
Tore it up.
No way.
Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah,
I saw her go. I was like, uh-oh, I wonder what happened.
My dog Freedom Fire literally ate my internet cable twice. So I know exactly how you feel, girl. I know exactly how you feel.
So, Digi, we're coming into the part right now, and I want everybody to realize something. And Yeet, I know you've got something to say about the map too, and you'll make that more public later. But the drops 1 through 129, Digi. Future is going to prove past now. The map, the news is going to start unlocking the map right now, because post 1 through 129 is all about all of the corruption, Digi.
100%. I've said for a long time, even if you don't follow Q or you've read the Q drops, or if you're curious about the Q drops, if you read those first 100, what'd you say, 129? You read those first 129 drops, everything is laid out. I mean, that's a complete map. All the remaining drops of the 4,966 of them that Q put out, all the remaining ones after that is basically expanding on other things. But the real map that the news unlocks is in those first drops that you mentioned, and I think those are the most critical and most important ones that everyone needs to take a look at.
Yeah.
Well, I think your post that you made earlier that about 11.3 on there about the start, the post you made.
Yeah.
Not 11.3, but JFK Jr.'s death, the plane crash. That date is the start. I mean, that's what I think. I think that was pretty dead on.
Yeah. Now, today's the anniversary, 27 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think, I'll jump up and down if JFK Jr. comes back, but I think this was a calm to today.
Right.
We are at the start now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I really am, because we've been waiting for this information that we've known to become public and declassify the documents behind it. This is huge. Anybody saying that's not huge, I don't guess has been doing this for as long and realizes, I don't know, but this is huge, guys, and I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up something right now. Give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, I posted this post the other day, and I said, guys, I think this is +1. We're in year +1 now. Q post 3387.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can. Q post 3387. Listen very carefully. Note past 2 years. Note next 6 years. You were told what was going to happen. You were told what battles we would face. Strategic, pre-planned, patriots in control. Q.
Booyah.
How many times has our administration calmed to patriots in control?
A lot.
Lately.
Yeah.
And guys, the real battle is fixing to begin now.
Someone suggested that we play the speech again.
Chat, do you want to see the speech again? It's not like too long, but guys, do you want to just let me know in the chat, because I've had several requests to play the speech again. So if you want to do that,
put a one out there in the chats if you guys want to hear the speech again, real quick.
I do want to mention, Dawn just said it in the private chat. I saw some other people say it in the chat that John Solomon is live right now. I mean, that might be kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, let's.
I'll tell you what. Let's go to John Solomon then. So let me get him pulled up.
It's on Rav though. What is
real?
What is it?
Real America's Voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be on Rumble then.
And he's also posting right now, before they weren't against it, Democrats were right about machine voting. Here comes the D class. Trump DHS found roughly 278 non-citizens on voter rolls. Declassified documents show shadow government. There it is. Solomon just dropped it. In action to suppress China threats to our elections. Intel assessed foreign enemies could compromise election interference. Trump accessed 220 million voter files. IC withheld it from him. So he's already dropping like it's hot.
Oh my gosh. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go to John Solomon live right now.
Got a plan for the machines. He's got a plan for voter ID. He's got a plan for non-citizens. I bet you lots of states get lit up tomorrow with letters from the Homeland Security and Justice Department saying, we have 250,000 foreigners on your voter rolls. Get them off before Election Day. When's the last time you heard a number like that or a direction to get them off the voter rolls? Things are happening. I think the president's goal, as he said tonight, everyone who goes to vote starting in October and November with the early voting and then Election Day, they should have the confidence that this election doesn't have a glass chin like the last three elections.
John, social media, where do people follow you?
You bet. Jay Solomon Reports on all media. JustTheNews.com is the website. And I'm lucky enough to follow you every night right here on this great network, except tonight. I was a little preoccupied tonight. Just the News, No Noise, right after your great show. Appreciate it, Steve.
By the way, John, historic tonight. Great work. Bravo, Zulu.
Thank
Amazing.
you, sir.
Tell your
Appreciate
team
it.
that.
More
Incredible.
to come. A lot more to come.
Right.
Bill Pulte and John Solomon, 4 weeks. Tom Fitton is with us telephonically. Tom Fitton, your thoughts tonight? You've been fighting this fight from day one.
We'll watch a little bit of this.
Well, what's frustrating about this, Steve, and John did a great job, obviously, is that the details and the broad strokes of this, have been generally known. The details are astonishing in terms of the vast numbers of voters whose information's been compromised. But why should it be a surprise? This information is generally publicly available to state parties, candidates. It's on the marketplace. So not only China, but all of our adversaries or friends could come backing this information up quite easily. The way to solve this China compromise is to immediately require voter ID in-person voting with citizenship verification. John Solomon highlighted all the ways your votes can be compromised by someone else getting access to the data. Well, the way to combat that most effectively is to show up in person and vote with a voter ID. Is it a perfect solution? No, but it's the best one. My big concern is that the agencies responsible for this cover-up are going to be have been designated as the persons or the agencies who are going to investigate the cover-up by their own agencies. Can the CIA investigate the CIA? Can the FBI investigate the FBI? DOJ investigate the DOJ? I don't think so. And if I were the president, I would tomorrow say, you know what, this is important enough we need an outside group, not compromised by the institutional protection racket that happens every time an investigation like this commences, to investigate what the FBI knew, what they did, what they didn't do. Same at DOJ and CIA.
Okay, so we're going to stop right there, and we're going to come back. Steve, you've got to go. I know that. So what we're going to do is, Steve, maybe some parting thoughts. Before what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually replay Trump's speech here shortly.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I told everybody earlier today. That and kind of what I said in the beginning of the show, that I thought something big was going to happen tonight. I had no idea what it was, and I figured it would be big. But don't get your hopes up that it was going to be everything. Like I think it was Delia maybe in the chat that said she wanted him to, declare the 2020 election, whatever. Sorry, I'm tired, but I didn't expect that to happen tonight. But with everything that just happened, I think that is going to come in the very, very near future.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Don't let the people on X, if you're on X, don't let those black pillars get you, because they're going to be out in full force. I'm sure they're getting paid overtime right now.
And Steve, before you bounce, we've got a lot of viewers watching us right now. We're almost at 12,000 now. So if you'll tell everybody where to find you and what shows, and when they come on and everything.
Yeah. So Monday
you can
through
find Scuba Steve swimming in the reflecting pool, having a good time in his scuba gear. That's where you can find Scuba Steve.
on that note, see you later. No. Monday through Friday, I have a show called Keeping It Real at 12 p.m. Eastern. That usually goes for about 90 minutes. And then I've got the Roundtable, Real Justice. That's on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Real AF Talk on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's Sunday night is me and AJP. And then the Roundtable now is typically me, AJP, Casey, and Julie. And I'm Real AF Patriot on Rumble. I'm also Real AF Patriot on Pilled, and I'm on X.
All right, awesome, man. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that was exciting. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm watching everybody's comments in the chat as we're watching. And I was like, wow, this really is pretty big.
Heck yeah.
So
D5's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we were wondering, Steve wore the hat tonight for a reason, right?
Boom.
We are in
and you can find all of Steve's shows on truthermedia.com on the wonderful show schedule that our buddy Josh put together. So
awesome.
Every day when Steve's going live, just go check it out there, and you'll know right where to go.
Yep.
Are you going to stream tonight, Joe?
Probably not.
Okay.
I got a feeling we'll probably go for another hour or so, maybe. So I probably won't stream tonight. But we'll see how it goes.
Yep. All right. I'll hop in the chat in a little bit, but if I don't hop off soon, my wife's not going to be too happy. So
I understand completely, man. I understand.
So, all right, guys. Thank you for having me, Josh, and thank you for everybody in the chat. Love you guys, and I'm sure I'll see most of you tomorrow.
All right.
Much love, brother.
All right, guys.
See you,
Later, brother. Love you.
Best Scuba.
Love you. Bye. Later.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Rapid Response 47, of course, this is going to just keep going with all the shills, but there is no evidence that they were able to change the outcome of votes from the same people who brought you the Russia collusion hoax laughable. That was an anchor on ABC News, of course.
Yeah.
ABC News. So,
Well, I was going to say, and I said it in the chat. I'm sorry, Seth. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. Go ahead.
that was all I wanted to say.
Okay. Is that if you see black pillars at this point, it will do you good to mute them. Just mute them. You will never see them again because it is not good for your mental health. I am just telling you, all that negativity and that's being paid for. At this point, if people are still saying black pill, nothing, mute them. You'll be glad you did.
Digi, AJP, one thing I did notice was, Trump was talking about the journalists being paid, just like Tracy was saying earlier. It's no coincidence that Dan Bongino has come back into podcasting, and he's going to be dropping receipts on all these influencers out there. Digi, what do you think about that?
I bet he's muted again.
I bet he's muted. Well, okay, we'll go to you, AJP.
What was the question?
Okay. So, Trump did mention, like Tracy was saying earlier, that these journalists have been paid to do a lot of this reporting and stuff, this false reporting. But it's also the influencers, though. And it's no coincidence that Dan Bongino has come back into the podcasting world, and he said, I'm fixing to take all of y'all down.
Yeah.
You think that may be connected a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, they were paid too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing that's so interesting about this, first and foremost. You have to understand that when the mainstream media could no longer control the narrative, they moved into the influencers.
100%.
I can think of multiple people and people who have come out and even said that they were people tried to pay them off to kind of squish their signal, right? But what was happening is and the same thing I saw back in 2019-ish was when the Q boards were infiltrated as well, right? The Q operation was infiltrated, just like the influencers were infiltrated as well, just like everything that's infiltrated on every single level. And a lot of these people are still streaming. A lot of these people still have very big following. A lot of these people have fake chatters and fake numbers. So a lot of this stuff is being highlighted, and it is kind of the drip. And Bongino, going into the FBI for a short stint, you can say whatever you want about him. Honestly, I never listened to him, but I still like him. I mean, I don't really listen to any streamer. I never really have. I just kind of stay in my own little focus, my own little signal. But, he had a great signal. He had a ton of followers as well. And, when he left, that whole base just kind of scrambled and goes, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. And they unfortunately ended up into the arms of people who think that everything's fake and gay. And this is why Bongino, I think, came back as well. And like you said, Josh, the first thing he said was these influencers, right?
Yeah.
He talked about them specifically, and there's a reason why. I mean, it might even be some people that you guys watch out there in the chats that you don't know are infiltrated. And that's the hard part. This is when it comes down to discernment, and why I've talked about discernment so much and the importance of that. It's truly amazing when you think about it, that everything that's been going on a huge level, with the destruction of the mainstream media, with the destruction of the old guard, London Bridge is falling down, the international crime syndicate, Operation Gladio, Craig, all this stuff that's being highlighted finally. But yet there's still people who are influencers out there who are putting out a shitty signal. And, we're done with all that. We're done with all that. In fact, Laura Trump, I just played a clip from Laura Trump yesterday going after Candace, which was huge, if you ask me. So she's starting to kind of get into the fight, so to speak, as well, in regards to the fake and gay stuff that's going on all over the place. And I also played an interview from Corey Compatour, his widow, last night as well, and her talking about how it hurts her to see that everybody thinks that this is fake. Like, it blows me away, to be completely honest with you, that people don't understand that we were and are still really at war, and the war is here. I don't care about Ukraine. I do care about Ukraine. I care about the citizens. I don't care about Iran. I mean, the government, but I care about the citizens, right? But the war has always been here in the States. The war is real. And people think that this is a game, and people think that, oh, you know, Trump didn't get shot and that the guy behind him, Corey Compouture, died. Yeah, well, go ask his wife, the widow, and his kids that both have to not be able to see every day. So again, fighting back against all of this and staying in the signal is something, you know, honestly, that's been really hard for me, knowing that there are so many people out there that have an absolute shitty signal, but yet still get tons of followers and tons of views. And, you know, thank you to the Truther Media family, because you guys have lifted me up and made my signal a lot stronger. And I appreciate that for all you guys out there that have recently come in over the last 7-8 months. Because of Truther Media, my signal wouldn't be that strong. And it is now. And not only is it strong now, it's strong with all of us at Truther Media, and all of us are staying focused on that signal. And we're not going to let any of these influencers, you know, try to change what has been in progress, maybe all the way back from 1999. We're not going to let people change the process and change what's going on. We're going to stay focused.
That's right. And, you know, something else to think about. There's a lot of people who they sold their accounts. You can sell your account. You can build up a following. You can sell it for lots of money. And I mean, it happens. People, and you think you're, you know, following someone that you trusted back then, and you can tell because things change. You know what I'm saying? And then
Discernment.
yeah, their messaging changes, and then so I don't know. That's just a thought, but you know, I'm just thankful we're where we are today, and like you were talking about, there is a process. It takes time and discernment to figure these things out, and so I don't fault anybody at all for where they're at in their journey, because it is a process.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're here, because, you know, we don't take this lightly. We don't take it for granted that people are tuning in and paying attention to us and listening to us and considering what we're saying. And I encourage everyone to check it, research. Don't just take my word for it. I'm a human being. I could get something wrong. So check it for yourself and see if, you know, if that lines up, if your discernment, if your Holy Spirit tells you that this is truth, then perhaps you're in the right place. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I wanted to say something real quick. And, you know, we looked at that JFK Jr. comm a couple of times now, and it said, the start, enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a lot of the Anons, they twist that. You know, they twist that saying, enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm.
I believe now the show is starting.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see the boomerang effect. Now you're going to see all of their misdeeds on full display. That is what Q meant by enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. That it's not one big, huge like production. You're seeing right now military planning at its finest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right
we do
now.
have the best military that there is.
So what do you think about that, Yeet?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you know, we've been in a war. We've been in a war for our country, for our souls, and for our future. That's not a show.
Yep.
But
And
you're
all by the
100% correct, Josh. Like right now, as we speak, this is the start of the show. You will start to see central casting now, because what makes a great show? The actors. And it's important for people to understand that we haven't seen nothing yet. That phrase doesn't mean nothing.
Well, expand on that a little bit. What do you think that means?
Well, we ain't seen nothing yet. Every single time that we sat down and watched a Trump presentation, hoping that he would come out with exactly the messaging that he came out today with, and it didn't happen. Every single time the shills would come out afterwards and attack us. Mm-hmm. We just had to keep saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Right.
Well, now you ain't seen nothing yet. Just wait until all of that information gets dropped on everybody's head. The choice to know will be yours. Q said that.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely, my friend. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Seth.
You know, the thing about, I mean, there's two sides to the people who play the fake and gay game, right? One side is obviously the ones who inflate their numbers, buy views, pay for all that stuff, and they're disingenuous, and they're doing it just so that they can pump the numbers to make money.
Right.
So they're in it for the money, and they're in it for the power, and they're in it for the fame, and they're in it for all all of the prideful biblical reasons that you're not supposed to. But then you also have those who it's real easy to sit in your comfy chair in America, even though we're at war in this country, and spew a bunch of stuff that because you're not on the front lines. I mean, as much as we have our doubts and things about people, when we were in DC for the independent media event, and we were talking to that guy Chad, and he was showing us video of what was going on when he was physically in Portland with Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
That was not fake. That was not gay. That was real battle. Yet he got stabbed several times. He showed us the wounds.
Yes.
This was not, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's real easy to play the game when you're sitting in a comfy chair behind a monitor, and you're not out in the cities where this stuff is going on, and you're not really privy to what's going on behind the scenes. So to me, that's the two sides, and you got to be careful of both of those types of people. Obviously, you got to be careful of the ones who are lying for a living because they're making money off of it, but you also have to be careful of the ones who really are just sheltered. I mean, that's really the word for it. They're just sitting back, and they really don't know what war is.
Well, it's cognitive dissonance. I think some of it's cognitive dissonance. It's too harsh of a reality to face, to believe, to admit that they've believed lies. But I had to admit that. You had to admit that. We all were, blind to it at some point. So we've all had to admit that. But I think it is, and entertainment sales. And it's just a comfort thing, I think. But, Q said, 4 to 6% for lost forever. So I'm not worried. There's some people that just will not ever. You've seen them. You can show them all the proof in the world, and they will still refuse to see it. So you just do the best you can. You help as many as that you can.
So, Joe, Kamala Harris just made a post. Says, before the president gets on television tonight to peddle lies and conspiracy theories, here is what you need to know. The 2020 election was not stolen. We won and he lost.
Can you smell the panic?
Oh, I think we're fixing to turn on that movie called Panic in D.C.
Yes, sir. And Follow the Pen just posted a little bit ago. Catherine Herridge, big picture. China CCP collects massive amounts of data, buying, stealing, or hacking to exploit vulnerabilities. President Trump said tonight that the CCP's operations obtained 220 million voter records. In 2015, 22 million security clearance applications known as the SF-86, it's a roadmap to your life, were hacked by China.
Wow.
The threat comes from combining the data, weaponizing voter rolls, healthcare records, and security clearance applications can build an entire profile of a U.S. citizen. This can be used for fraudulent voter registration, identity theft, targeting U.S. citizens for recruitment by China. By China. That is huge.
That is huge.
That just popped up a little bit ago.
Think about it, though. They're our adversary, granted, but I mean, we are in an AI race against them. They will do anything to come out ahead. I mean, that's just, they will do anything to win. They will do this to take down the United States. They will do anything they can because they are our adversary. But I keep going back to that drop that says, what if Russia, China, what else? Do you know the drop? You know the one I'm talking about?
North Korea and others.
Yeah, are working with POTUS. So I keep going back to that. Just saying. But I want you to remember something. Or think about something, not remember something, but think about something. Just like, like in, I don't know, when Biden was president, if somebody had said, I mean, we did dirt. The United States did some bad things, right? So perhaps, I believe all countries got a deep state, right? So maybe that was what was doing it, not necessarily, maybe they're in the same situation. I don't know. They probably have the same leaders that they did then, but I'm just saying there's bad guys and good guys in China too, is my point. Simplified.
It's funny. I just want to point out something Tennessee artist, TN artist said is, this is so much of what I was trying to get at, but this lays it out there, Stephen Perfect. My own sister said it would stress her out too much to know about the trafficking of children, even if it was happening right next door to her. So aggravating. She's lost in Vermont. That is part of what we're battling, is people like that. And I don't know that my family would bury their head in the sand like that. And again, I understand if that's where they are it's so scary to know that something that evil is occurring right there in your neighborhood, especially if it was right next door. But that's the mentality. And that's where, some of those people will eventually wake up if they haven't yet. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be, again, they'll wake up if and when they're supposed to wake up. But a lot of those people will be the ones who will be the 3 to 5 lost forever. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it's going to be.
Joe, I want to show you something. Q Post 4963, Runbeck, Dominion. Now remember, Dominion is based out of where? What did we talk about tonight?
Venezuela.
Runbeck, Dominion, Secretary of State offices, investigators, researchers, whistleblowers, patriots in trusted positions. Trust yourself. You have seen the truth. Time to show the world. Focus. Ascension. Q. Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry, my daughter's calling. I'll step out.
That's been the signal that I've focused on for many years now. And the ascension is also a huge part of that. It's the ascension to God, in my opinion. And maybe, Seth can elaborate on ascension a little bit more, but, that really is, yes, focus on all of this stuff and focus on all that stuff, but ascension to God and getting grounded in God and understanding that this battle is a battle between good and evil. It's that simple. And you better choose wisely, because that line has been, put in that sand for a reason. And, that's, in fact, Trump mentioned in the speech tonight as well. Are we going to replay that real quick? He mentioned that in the speech tonight that this is not just for Republicans. This is for Democrats as well, right? And it's never been, the old Republicans and Democrats and us fighting has been, part of the division, which has been man-made all along. Mm-hmm. I truly feel that we could get rid of Republican, Democrat, liberals all together, and, that would help with the division in the world, because honestly, it should just be vote for the best candidate, period. Doesn't matter, what do they stand for when it comes to abortion rights? What do they stand for when it comes to guns? What about free speech? Like, it should just come down to the candidate. And I really feel that, we could get rid of the Republican, Democrat, all of that, and just that would help with a lot of the division. I know a lot of people out there had put a 1 out there and wanted to see it, or maybe only caught like the last 15 or 5 minutes or so of the speech. Real quick, before he starts, there was a note that I took in the start of his speech, and you guys will hear it again here, and I'm not going to give too much away, but he came out and he said, the world isn't laughing at us anymore. Think about that, y'all. How long was the world laughing at us? For a very long time. I mean, probably all the way back to Bush Senior. I mean, maybe even further than that, right? I mean, like, it's been going on a long time. So I did want to mention that. And then real quick, Seth, I don't know if you can just quick comment about, ascension and the importance of that in this movement. It is an awakening, right? But it's a great God awakening that we really have going on here.
I mean, that's something that all of us constantly are talking about. I mean, Josh reintroduced that part of it this morning because I mentioned it to him last night. Was it last night or it was
Yeah.
Tuesday night? I think on Fellowship and the Word is that
Yep.
you know he was constantly saying that the drops will only take you so far because that's the facts, right? I mean, the drops will get you, and even still, you know, those who aren't into Q but are MAGA, you know, non-Q MAGA that are Christians, you know, will relate more necessarily with the Bible and the biblical and the ascension aspect of it than it might, you know, with the Q, just because they might think of this QAnon thing as some kind of a, you know, who knows. But you know, there's one thing I want to mention outside of biblical stuff real quick because you had brought up the whole getting rid of the party thing, and here's the facts, and I've seen this presented very well in several videos. I don't remember who did them right now, but you know, this country was not founded on parties. The country was founded on the principles of the Christian law. And that's why, you know, they've done so much to try to say that America wasn't founded on Christian values. The fact is, if you see any of the Charlie Kirk stuff that he did on the state constitutions, every single one of them said in order to be any type of representative in the government, you had to be a professed Christian. You had to be of the faith, and so you know the nation of America was founded the same way, and we were founded on, you know, it's like vote for the best candidate, not vote along your party line. And so I told you totally nailed it with that, and that's just how the country was founded. And again, like everything they've done, they've infiltrated and they've inverted it over time to suit and to further their agendas. So as far as the ascension goes, I mean, the fact is that, you know, if you, I didn't understand, although I'd heard a lot. I mean, you can't be an American and not have heard some of the things about the Bible, you know, Noah's flood, and in the beginning was, you know, God created the heavens and the earth. I mean, I've heard a lot. Jonah. I mean, how many of us didn't know, like, the kid's story of Jonah got eaten by a whale, you know? But that's all I thought it was just some guy in the Bible got eaten by a whale. I mean, the way they, again, bastardize everything. But, you know, the truth of it really is if you read, even if it's just the New Testament, if you read the Bible for what it is, and we covered it extremely well this last week on Fellowship and the Word on Tuesday, is that the entire Bible points to somebody who came to earth as a human representative that was God, to show us that the law could be fulfilled only by him because he was God. And he came here to experience tribulation, and no one ever, I believe, has ever experienced as much tribulation as that man did over his lifetime, and especially, of course, on the cross and prior to the scourging. But that he came to experience humanity so he could understand what we go through, not just from a God perspective sitting in heaven, but actually as a true human being. So no one can. And I mean, and Paul talks about this all throughout the entire epistles. No one can say he doesn't know what we're going through because Jesus experienced it as a man.
Right.
But then the whole key to this, okay, guys, and you may not be, even as Christians, you may not be getting this. Jesus's true reason for coming here was to take back death, was to take the keys back from the devil, Satan, the evil one, so that death has no meaning anymore. You know, we're all talking about living in America in the new golden age and everything's wonderful and Trump's saving us. And it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But the problem is, the truth is that 60, 70, 80, 90 years on this planet is freaking nothing in the course of time. eternity is forever. You understand what eternity, what forever really means? That's an awful, awful long time to not understand that if we are actually following and obeying Jesus and we die the first death, we won't have to experience the second death. But it's a narrow path to a narrow gate, and wide is the path to destruction. I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's what the Bible tells us. And when we get to Judgment Day, we're either going to be a goat or a sheep. We're either going to go to spend eternity with God, or we're going to run our own show while we're here and spend eternity away from God. And that's what hell is. It's spending eternity without God. That's ascension right there.
Yeah, I love that. And let's also not forget the Declaration of Independence specifically said, endowed by their creator for a reason. Great synopsis there. Yeet, I didn't know if you wanted Yeet to add anything real quick before we replay this. Go ahead, brother.
I'd love to. At the end of the day, like every single facet of our society, and you nailed it, Seth. You really did. Every single facet of our society is built off of the premise of the God we trust. Our legal system is built off of God's law. Our financial system is built off of the principles of the Bible. Every single aspect. When you go into office, you swear over a Bible. What do you think would literally happen to this country if you got rid of God? It's important.
Wouldn't be a country.
To understand that, right? That's it.
Yeah, spot on, man. Let's not forget, there's a lot of buildings in government that specifically have the words "In God We Trust" on it for a reason as well.
That's exactly right. Well, let's watch POTUS again right here for people that missed it. Got to fast forward it a little bit, guys, because I think they recorded it.
Do we know how long it was in total or no?
I don't know that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, you can maybe check here real quick now that you're lining it up.
Like we have.
Okay. I think it's fixing to come on right now. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. There we go.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago,
boom,
our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years. Actually say your 401k records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation, the rest of the world, and companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of health care is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to TrumpAccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with zero illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is zero. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure. One where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country, a standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody, and it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So
Was that like 25 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. Well, Dan Scavino just posted, and there was a timestamp. AJP, do you remember back in the day the gunship video lighting up the sky?
Yeah, man. Actually, what's so interesting is my very first rapid fire news short video intro included that gun in the background, you know, rapid fire, obviously. That's why I put that in there, dude. So yeah, that goes all the way back like 8 years ago when I had that in my video. I probably could show you guys that at some point, but I totally remember that.
Oh my gosh. Let me show everybody here real quick. So Dan Scavino posted this just a little bit ago, and mine displays in Central, so that's 10:33. So we translate that to 22:33. Okay. So now you do a timestamp match of 22:33, and that's post 4604. Batten down the hatches. Q.
Full speed ahead. That's exactly what we're talking about, man.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this has been an absolute pleasure, and we just witnessed history in the making, just like you said before, AJP.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, guys. So, Seth, I'm going to start with you. Parting words.
Wow. Just I don't know, man. It's kind of speechless at this point. With I don't really have a big place to be able to say a whole lot, only because I've only been doing this a very short time compared to you guys who've been through, I mean, true trenches for 9 plus, not just the 9 years since the Q, but since, I mean, I was red pilled with a few things, like I've said in several shows prior. I think it was in the mid 90s when I realized about the Jekyll Island meeting, and the IRS and the Fed were all, totally fake, and a way to steal all our money. So everything else was just kind of fed off of that. But I just want to say, other than God wins, because we know that's a fact. Jesus already won, but
read the Bible. God wins.
Read. You know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't do this once. Right. During the show. So, but what I do want to do is I want to salute all of you guys who have been doing this a lot longer, and that have really brought me up to speed pretty quickly. I mean, Josh, I don't do anything small. So when I dug in and met you, I went in, I didn't study the drops insanely like you guys did, but I got what I needed pretty quick from it all. And so a hand salute to you and Tracy and Digi and AJP. I'm not going to leave Yeet out, because Yeet's been doing it way longer than I have.
Yeet's an OG.
So salutes. Exactly. So, you guys are awesome. And I'm just, I feel privileged to be able to share the stage with you. So love you.
Love you too, man.
Right back at you, brother.
Yeah, same, dude.
All right, Yeet.
First off, everybody, give yourselves a pat on the back. Literally, everybody deserves a pat on the back. Any anon who has been here, who hasn't been part of the show, who hasn't been part of the fake and gay, who hasn't been receiving the 7 shekels, give yourself a pat on the back. Seriously. You just helped to bring down, and we'll be seeing this over the coming months and years, a multi-trillion, trillion with a T, dollar propaganda machine. That is not a small feat. At the end of the day, God wins.
Absolutely. AJP?
Man, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I promise. I promise.
You go for it, brother. You say all you want to say.
Well, again, I want to point out the voter ID thing.
Mm-hmm.
Executive Order 14399. Go look it up. Ensuring citizenship verification and integrity in federal elections. Why are we arguing about voter ID? Mm-hmm. He literally already implemented an executive order that specifically talks about that. And let's not forget about the U.S. Postal Service. How big of a deal that was as well, that restricting U.S. Postal Service mail-in absentee ballots to verified voters. That was also put in there for a reason, because the USPS was part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Remember the guy who drove across the state line to pick up ballots and bring them back? I mean, it's out there. Go look it up. So I just wanted to mention that. The only other thing that I caught when the second time listening, well, a couple of things, but I just want to mention one, was he was talking about China, and he said, and non-state groups, which was super interesting. What's non-state groups? NGOs. That's what non-state groups are. USAID come to mind. SPLC come to mind. What else comes to mind when you start talking about these NGOs that have been influencing Soros, who have been influencing our elections and everything else? Those people are on check as well. Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan. Why was that brought up? So interesting. Number one, I was born and raised in Michigan. I'm going to be a Detroiter through and through the rest of my life. But anyways, this was super interesting to me because remember Muskegon, Michigan, the main election related discovery involves suspicious voter registration forms in 2020. Now, again, what's so interesting about this is that nothing was ever done about it. Well, shocker, because we have a judicial coup going on, and these law fags are part of the problem. Those are getting addressed as well. And I also believe that the Slaughter decision may have something to do with him being able to help fight some of these bureaucrats and judges and lawyers and everything else. Because
it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it could be part of that. So I'm just saying, I'm trying to do this as quick as possible. So I'm trying to wrap this up. But they said that there was only like 8,000 to 10,000 forms that were supposedly submitted in Muskegon, Michigan. And it showed clear signs of fraud. Again, the most secure election yet. This was brought up in 2020 in October in Detroit, Michigan, and Muskegon about how there was problems with our election, yet it got buried by who? By all of those people that we mentioned previously, Josh, Seth, Yeet, the FBI, the DOJ, the blah, 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 all the list of those organizations. Pick a 3-letter, 4-letter agency, and they're all bad.
Yep.
They were all infiltrated. They were all part of the cover up. Oh, we can also just throw MSM in there while we're at it, right? Because they're part of the cover up as well. Another 3-letter agency, part of the CIA, part of MK Ultra, part of, Operation Gladio, all getting exposed in this huge, some might say huge speech. I'm really been working on it, man.
You're getting good. You're getting good.
So it's huge, man, what he's talking about. And that's what's so interesting is, again, he didn't say Georgia. He could have thrown out Georgia in a heartbeat, and people have been like, oh yeah, they raided over at Fulton County, did they? No, he didn't bring that up. He brought Michigan up. Yeah. That's putting that's a shot over the bow, Gretchen Whitmer. We're coming for your ass next. So that is
Chills.
Huge. Yeah, exactly. That is huge. And then I got a lot more in my mind, man, but I know you got to close it down. So here's what I got to say. I'm going to read this to you guys, and then I want to say 2 other quick things before I go.
Sure.
United, we are strong. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation as such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate the government's long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariable the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. And that is
chills.
I do too, man. I do.
Amen. Chills.
This is what I'm talking about. I love that post, by the way. And who that is? Q post 3411, talking about that whole thing. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read the bottom part, but that's exactly what we've been talking about, man. And thank you, Seth, for the little hat tip there, man. I honestly, no one is above another. I've truly thought that and felt that way for a long time. And I feel that no matter when you were awakened to this process and wherever you came from in your background or anything else, I'm no different than anybody else. I just know more. because
Amen.
I've been studying for a lot longer time, right? I'm not any different than you though, Seth. And honestly, you've taught me so much more than I think I may have taught you, because you've also helped me getting closer back into God. And I appreciate that as well. Reading your devotionals every morning and including a devotional at the end of my show and stuff. So thank you for lifting up a nation that needed it in a time where we got to find God. So tonight, I'm not going to go back out and stream again, guys. We've been rolling for 3.5 hours. So I appreciate you guys so much over there on Pilled and Rumble, you guys, the chatters and X and just everywhere. It's been absolutely epic. All you guys out there, I've been trying to interact and read your guys' comments as per usual. You guys are amazing. Tomorrow, since I'm not doing a show tonight, I will do FAFO tomorrow. Even though it is my daughter and my wife's birthday, I already have plans tomorrow, which is why I didn't want to stream too late tonight, to take them out for the day. And I plan on taking them shopping and doing all kinds. Yes, they were both born on the same day, on the 17th. No, I'm not cute, but they might be. Who knows? But yeah, so I have plans all day tomorrow, and I want to get up early and I want to take them out and have a great day with them and shopping and food and all that good stuff and things. So since I'm not doing a later show tonight, I will definitely do FAFO tomorrow night, which is always a lot of fun, and we always have a great time. And it'll give me a chance tonight to just kind of dissect everything that's happened today. It really has been an amazing day in so many ways, and we are truly lucky and blessed to be a part of this movement, no matter how small that we are, or big or whatever. That doesn't even matter. What we have here, what we've built, what Truther Media, what the AJP Army has built, what we have here is a huge, huge amount of people who love their country, who love God, and want to see things change. That's it. That's it. And the best part about this movement is, guys, that you can be the change you want to see in the world. You truly can. All you have to do is be the red pill, because that is the one thing that they can't take away from you. They can kick you off of X, they can kick you off of YouTube, they can kick you off of Facebook, but they cannot take away. Sometimes it might be a gigantic suppository pill, right, Seth? That we need to give these people, but remember that, right? Remember that the change that you want to see is yourself and red pilling people, and they can't take that away. They can't. Those interactions with your neighbors, with your friends, with your family, there's nothing they can do to take that away. So be the change you want to see in the world. And much love. God bless. Stay in the love, stay in the light, and stay in the fight. Much love, fam. God bless y'all.
Absolutely. And
that's all AJP has to say about that.
I'm going to give Tracy's last thought, because she just put it in the chat. Tonight, President Trump notified the nation of why what comes next was necessary. Boom. Well done. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I wanted to take a second to thank the Mod Squad for sticking with us for 3.5 hours, guys. And I want to thank all of our live chatters. I want to thank everybody that's going to watch us on the replay. I want to thank everybody. You are the reason why Truther Media exists in the first place. You are the reason why AJP streams 5 and 6 hours a night. You are the reason why Tracing Justice is here. You are the reason why It's Biblical is here. And you are the reason why Signal Over Noise is here. You. So let's go out and let's do our jobs now. Let's get on mission. Let's go through these files and let's go share some information, because it's an all new day now out there to start red pilling all the people. Be lions and not sheep. And
remember this, that if someone won't take a red pill, they may very well need the red suppository. That's just the way it is.
That's true. That is very true. So I'm going to leave you with this, and we are going out in style. And I think this video is so So very appropriate now. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all.
Sweet land, sweet land of the weary and the wild. Oh, where are you, my sweet The garden's either dying or about to come alive. The river's either drying or it's deep enough to dive. Can't tell if it's the dusk or if it's breaking into dawn. Are we going on or are we going on? Somebody said a storm is coming, but it's been a long time. I don't know what's up ahead, but please, baby, don't you look behind. So tell me, is it gonna be free energy forever, or just the same damn old grind? Singing, sweet land of the weary and the wild. Are we 1 year from the grave, or is this just the beginning? My sweet child, oh, you're my star-spangled fever dream. Half a savior, half a liar. 250 summers and we're going higher, singing, sweet land, going. The neighbors might be coming with a casserole or a gun. The kids are either screaming or they're laughing in the sun. Is the timeline coming undone, or is it coming in clear? The fireworks are blinding, but I'll keep on dancing here. And nobody can promise me that we're gonna make it to the light. So is it an awakening, or is this a knife in the night? So come on, brother, sister, stand up tall, because guess what? Where we go one, we go all. If you can hear this from the other side, across this great quantum divide, don't get me wrong, now is the time to stay strong. So, with all of that, I'll say, God bless the USA! God bless the USA! Singing, sweet land, going on. 250 years and it's going on and on the edge of a forever or the edge of being gone. Is it midnight? Is it morning? Is it ruining? Is it time to rise? 250 summers gone by. So just go on and tell me those sweet lies, the kind as sweet as these July. Going on and going gone. Light up, light, higher. Sweet land's going on. Sweet land, going, gone. So please, just know that we can still rebuild. we can still make something better.
It's going to be biblical. God wins.